You should never give a free trial with no conditions. There is an opportunity here to really get a kick-ass front-end offer and attract more customers using these types of techniques. So if you're ever offering a free trial for anything that you sell, always have conditions that they have to meet.
Instead of giving a guarantee of unconditional guarantee for their money back, you're giving them a chance to win their money back, which is...
Hello and welcome to the Perpetual Traffic Podcast. This is your host, Ralph Burns, founder and CEO of Tier 11, alongside my amazing co-host,
Lauren E. Petrillo, the founder of Mongoose Media.
So glad you joined us here today. If you're a director of marketing, VP of marketing, a CMO, running your own business, doing your own marketing, or a marketer, you have come to the right place. We teach you how to do marketing the right way here through metrics that matter and growth that scales. And today we're going to be talking about something that just sort of happened to both of us. We didn't realize we were both doing this. We were both reading the same book. And if you are in digital marketing at all and you live under a rock, you probably don't know about this guy, but he's obviously somebody that we hold in very high regard. And of course, that is Alex Hormozi. If you haven't seen any of his stuff is really, really good. Really interesting story, how he sort of came to be. And, you know, he is now, I think it holds the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest or most profitable or biggest book launch in history. Did I hear that correct, Lauren?
He's got a bunch of them. He took care of more than one Guinness World Record. So yeah, he's collecting them the way I collect pink shoes.
I know. And you've got a lot of pink shoes. So yeah. Anyway, well, this guy is, it was sort of fortuitous because I was on my way to a client meeting this past Monday, a full day session that we do, for specific clients, like ones that are looking for a sort of a restructure in their strategy, sort of an overhaul of their entire business. We sit down, we go through everything and do this on, for a number of different clients, especially ones that are in transition in their business. And this guy definitely is in transition in his business and really needed some help. And myself and my growth strategist went to his office and we went through everything in his business, like soup to nuts. And the funny thing is that so much of the things that are in Hormozi's latest book, Money Models, which if you haven't gotten it, we'll leave a link in the show notes for that, of course, or you can just Google it, just find it on Amazon. So much of what's in that book, I had actually prepared. As I'm reading the book, I'm like, this was my plan to discuss with this guy. And I'd added a few more things, a couple more wrinkles, just because of things that I hadn't thought about. But we're going to get into that in just a second here. But it's odd that you and I are reading the same book at the same time, and you're doing it slightly differently. The way that I do it is I read the entire book, I listen to it and read it. It's one of his hacks that he always talks about. It's a great way to upsell the audio version of the book, of course.
Immediate upsell
Makes sense. Like, it's great.
I think it's like on page 8. He says, if you're listening to this, you should buy the book. If you're reading this, you should get the audio.
Yeah. So that hack unto itself, like if you're reading a book that you really want to absorb, I find my best way of doing it is going through it, the entire book, and then I go back and I reread it. You're doing it a little bit differently. So this is sort of just a difference in learning. You're doing it by reading one chapter, then implementing, which I think is super interesting. And I believe you're on the first money model, which is win your money back, if I'm not mistaken.
I am. I'm up to like a whole page 30, ladies and gentlemen.
30?
I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe 10% of the way through the book. How many pages is this sucker? 175. Okay, so I'm a little further.
So you've got like the physical book. I've got the Kindle version and the Audible version. So I'm listening. You're actually doing the whole, old school.
Look at this. I've been carrying this with me from California. I'm in Arizona today. I've taken this to North Carolina. I've taken this on all my travels because the way, if you're watching the YouTube channel or if you're watching the video recording of this, look at all the notes that I tear apart on this book. Like, this looks like a textbook from high school. There's more my own writing, I feel like, on pages than his.
That's hysterical. That's just different ways of learning. Like, everyone learns slightly differently. I think what I like about his stuff is that Not for me. Like I've been doing this for what 15 years now. So it's like not a lot of it is new, but it reminds me of the things that maybe I did know, and it puts a different spin on the things that I was familiar with and maybe didn't know. So that's what I love about Hormozi and his teaching style is like, it's just so simple and straightforward, but also it's jam packed. Like, money models is like, there's no crap in there at all. There's a couple of stories, but he gets right into it. Like go into like what your money models are. And like, there's like no break to it. So I think the way that you're doing it actually makes sense because reading it all at once is almost too much. But the way that I learn is I go through it all quickly and then I'll go.
You power through, then go back.
I power through it and then I back through it. So you're doing win your money back. So just explain to people like what win your money back is. And if you've got an offer, like no matter what you are doing right now, whether you're e-commerce, whether you're in service, whether you're doing digital products, like all of this stuff matters. The in-person session that I did with this client is actually, he has a coaching program. So very applicable. So, we'll talk about downsells, we'll talk about upsells, we'll talk about all the other sorts of things that we went through, in that meeting. But what we didn't do is we didn't really change his offer all that much or his money model. We added to it in a lot of different ways. But you're going through the first one, which is called Win Your Money Back. So tell us a little bit about what this one is, because it's a really cool one.
So Win Your Money Back is essentially a chance if someone's going to buy, instead of giving a guarantee of like conditional guarantee or an unconditional guarantee for their money back, you're giving them a chance to win their money back, which is still kind of like a conditional guarantee. But as long as you participate, I'll just let you, I'm saying, roll over the money so that you can use that as a credit. So it's just essentially a way that you can show up, do the things that you wanted to do, and then that will become a chance for you to apply that credit for an even bigger purchase because you've earned that discount by doing the work.
Right. He actually uses an example in the book of his wife, Layla. It is Layla, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes. How dare?
Yes.
Absolutely. I am such a super fan of her. Like, you don't understand. Her content is on fire. And I was there. I was like one of her first 1,000. Now she's probably got buttloads. Oh. But I remember being like the 30th person to like the second person to comment. Now it's like 300 shares. I'm a super fan.
So you were a super fan before she was like, you made her famous, right? Is that what you're saying here? You were part of her rise to fame.
No, she was already famous. She was just behind Alex's. What I think is really cool, and I'll do that side note, is that she is a partner in acquisitions.com.
Yeah.
The difference between her and Alex is that Alex wrote a book and put his name on it. She is running the operations and so much of the stuff behind the scenes. They are like president and vice president and have, I don't know their power dynamics in the company, but she has been there for nearly every step of the way, especially for the empire that he's built thus far. And she has been in his shadow. And even when she initially made content, it was similar to what his was. And what I think has been great is she's made such a shift to say like, hey, I have been the co-creator of so much of this stuff. And so much of her content is like, what is it like working with a partner? What is it like creating together? How do you go through the hard moments? So she's the softer side, the realistic side, where Alex is like, do this, do this, do this. And she's saying, well, you need to be mindful that if you guys aren't talking to each other, this has to happen. So he wouldn't have been successful without her. So
she's more than just like the visionary integrator kind of thing. She's very visionary, but she's also like, Alex does give her a lot of credit as being like the integrator, the person who actually executes, gets the stuff done. But I do think that he's probably on the visionary integrator scale, he's probably more visionary, if that sort of makes sense. I'm not as familiar with her stuff as I am with his, but is that a fair assessment? Or is she sort of, because she has her own thing, it's not like, and it's distinct and different from Alex, but they've built that business together.
I think that the thing that's distinct from her is that so much of it is like, I'd say like a third of her content is specifically on relationships.
Okay.
Alex, besides saying that he loves his wife, doesn't show up as a romantic at all on social media and isn't caring about the hearts and flowers. Whereas, so a third of her content is like relationship based. Third of her content, I think, is the entrepreneur side. So he for sure is the entrepreneur. I don't know enough of their story. But this was his company. And then she was the entrepreneur inside of it. And I think she's just been such a fan of helping him grow his vision, that he had the vision of what he wanted and she had the vision of how to get there.
And I think for any business, I was just actually just talking with another agency owner this morning. We connected through a private equity partner of ours, and he doesn't have that. I was like, what do you need? Like, what you need, first off, you need a salesperson, and you also need somebody to execute on your vision. And that person is like, if you want to get to that next level of scale, it certainly seems like, Layla in this case, and Alex even says this in a lot of his books, it's like he's not great with like the interpersonal relationships, like the management, kind of thing. He sets the vision of it, but she's the one who sets up all the systems and understands like, all right, we've got 100 people now. We need HR help, and, does a lot of that internal stuff, but also helps him, I think, articulate his vision. So it's like, it really does seem like they've got a good, working relationship. And I think for any business that wants to scale, like that is a dynamic that is essential. Without it, you're going to have a hard time scaling just all on your own. You definitely need somebody else to take that to the next level. It's a great book by Gino Wickman called Rocket Fuel, which talks about sort of that visionary integrator relationship. Another book that we've read many, many times, through the EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, Gino Wickman. But like, that's the whole idea behind this. So the interesting part was when he's introducing this win your money back section of the book, he actually talks about, I think it was an HR software that Layla was trialing. And that's where he kind of got the idea for this win your money back. Do you remember that story?
I did not see the story. The part that I mean, it might be further because you've consumed it all. He had talked about how like you can buy your 6 months, and he was like talking about, the gym and the supplements pieces. But tell me that story because I did not hear about it.
I believe it was, this is great for software people because it's like your offer is just everything in software, because everything in software is book a call, schedule a call with, a salesperson. We'll assess whatever your needs are. We just bought a software this past week. Same model. I think in this case, the HR software that she was looking at, they would waive the onboarding fee if she did X, Y, and Z, like 8 different tasks. So it's like, then after that, then they would start charging. So she said, okay, well, I can save whatever it was, $500, and I'll do like these 8 tasks. By the time you finish the 8th task, you're fully vested. Like, you're going to buy the software. You're going to want it.
Because you've applied everything from it. Like the 8 tasks are getting you hooked. It's like your quick fix. And so now you're attached to the vein.
Exactly. So it's reverse psychology. So they take the credit card. They don't charge her the onboarding fee. She had to work through, I think, like 3 weeks. It took like 2 or 3 weeks. I forget exactly. But they didn't charge for that section. And then as soon as the monthly hit, or at the 3rd or 4th week, then they started charging. So it's like, it is kind of like a free trial, but not really. It's like you're winning your money back, but you're never really paying for it.
So there's no money down. So in that case, she didn't have to put money down. And this example from like what we saw in the book was you had to put money down. And one of the things he had talked about was like, if you lost weight, if your goal was to lose 50 pounds and you're in this initial 6-week trial and you're like, cool, you've lost 8 pounds. Great job. But is that your real goal? No, your goal is 50 pounds. So why don't we give you the chance you can win all that money back and apply it into your annual membership so that we can keep going towards your goal?
Exactly.
So there was a dollar amount put down first. I wonder if there's another piece later that says the illusion of winning your money back, but the like empowerment of the free trial. Oh, I just flipped to a page that says offer a free trial. Sunny.
So it is similar to a free trial, but it's how, like, win your money back is in essence, you get it. I think in the software model that we just mentioned, I think that's more of the free trial because you are getting it for free. But if you don't, if you don't actually execute on all 8 steps in a set period of time, they will charge your credit card. So it's free trial with conditions. So if you're ever offering a free trial for anything that you sell, always have conditions that they have to meet, which are easily trackable benchmarks or sort of milestones along the way. And if someone does all those things, you're setting them up for success, but also you're setting them up for the next level of success. Lose 8 pounds in 30 days. Okay. You could do a free trial. You could do a win your money back on that. But your main goal is to lose 25 pounds, which is going to take more than a month. So there's a way in which to position this, and the win your money back and the free trial, which he gets into later in the book. For me, I was like, well, wait a second. Isn't that kind of like win your money back? So it's just all in how you're positioning it. But I think there's definitely something here. If you are a software, if you are like a coaching company, if you're doing, gym memberships, there is an opportunity here to really get a kick-ass front-end offer and attract more customers using these types of techniques, whether or not you do win your money back or whether you do a free trial with conditions, because you should never give a free trial with no conditions.
There's Maely's. Did I talk about Maely's? Maelys? They have like a cellulite cream or something, and they've got a great free trial model, which makes me think of this, where you get the full-size products for 21 days in a trial. If you don't like them, you will not be charged. You have to send the products back, but you're trying them for 21 days. And if you don't, you'll be charged to $100 or whatever the products are. And then of course, they have a bunch of upsells and free product giveaway. But they had that's reminding me of that. If you try it and don't like it and you can return it within 21 days, you don't get charged. But if you keep it, they charge you. And then you're on a renewal automatically. So it's just a delayed payment. You're deferring when you're committing to it and actually seeing if you like it. I tried it. It made me feel like my butt was on fire. I was like, no, thank you. So I returned it. But I was like, I also
returned it and you got your money back.
I did. I did. So one thing though is I returned and I said, hey guys, this is caught, I'm uncomfortable for the last 25 minutes. It's, when you have Bengay or warming creams. This was set it on fire. I thought I was at the church.
Oh my God.
On top of the candles. Sinning, I was like, this is uncomfortable. And I like to pretend, I just don't have cellulite. So that's why. But the model was really good. And so while that's not a cream I was specifically searching for, I thought the concept was really good. I would give it a try. It's not something I would have ever bought. I tried it, hated it. I returned it, but they had put me into a subscription. So a week after I returned it, a full set of 4 new products arrived at my door with an auto charge of $120 or something. I was like, hey guys, I reached out. I said, this was a negative experience. Can you please cancel this? They were great. They're like, yes, return it back. I was like, unopened. They did. Just that small thing that tricks you, because if you return something, just always remember you have to cancel if there's also a subscription. I assumed that when I had said, I have 2nd degree burns right now, that they would not have renewed it. But it was, anyways, sorry. If anyone works at Maely's, I think it's a really great system. The product just didn't work for my skin. I'm sure it works great for others. They've got thousands of reviews, but
I don't know why you're using a cellulite, remover anyway. I don't think you have any fat in your body. So just saying.
And that could have been the reason why it didn't work. It was that's really probably the reason. To get into the funnel and see and understand, this is such a unique offer. But anyways, that I wonder if it's in that similar deferred payment model.
So the win your money back offer, one of the big keys that he does mention in this book is that if you are going to give their money back for a set period of time, let's say it's a 30-day period, because they have done X, Y, and Z, let's say that's 7 different things that you need to do in order to win your money back. Obviously applies to the fitness space really well. It applies to signing up for an HR software or any sort of software, is that you can then use that credit for the next offer or for the next purchase. So,
which is what we're trying to do in a webinar that we're doing.
The money model that you're using is what specifically? So this is you reading and then applying, and then obviously we'll follow up on this in a later show. But what's your win your money back model?
By the time this Harley comes out, my webinar will have happened. So we're doing a webinar on 10/10 at 10 a.m. PST. And so we're talking about email marketing and ways that you can compete in a crowded inbox season. Mm-hmm. And part of that webinar is, it's a free webinar with an upsell. So if you want to have the VIP, it's $17 before the webinar, $37 during the webinar, or $97 after the webinar. What the VIP gives you is the recording for 6 months and the bonus webinar the following week. So it's cheaper in the beginning because it's called the stranger tax. If you're seeing this as an ad or whatever, and you don't know me well enough to justify $17, okay, no problem. You don't have to buy until maybe during the webinar, you're like, wow, this is so good. I need this recording. okay, you delayed. You didn't get to take advantage of the stranger tax discount. So what we're saying though is on that VIP, like if you buy our win your money back, so whether you're paying 17, 37 or 97, you will have the chance to win your money back by doing 4 things. So we are saying you have to attend each webinar for at least 40 minutes live. Like you have to show up live.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Perfect.
I need you to post 4 times. It can be stories. I'm not asking you to do a permanent feed, but I need you to post during the webinar. I need you to post after the webinars. So you say during the webinar, like, whatever, I'm watching this, having to post. You could be like, man, this girl is so annoying. She's making me post. So here I'm doing it. And you tag myself in Mongoose Media. So if you post during and then you post what was your biggest takeaway, and that can be negative. Like, I'm not saying it has to be good. Ideally, I've given you enough value. But I'd just be like, hey, what's something you learned from it? And even if it's like, I learned that this girl just wants to be tagged on socials. I don't care. Like you can, whatever it is. So you tag 4 times what you learned after each webinar, including the bonus, and you attend the webinar. And then the third one is that I ask you to take a 5-question survey after the webinars so that I can learn how to be better at them. Because I want to do this once a month. And I'm going to keep the webinar initially free for this calendar year, but I'm giving the chance people to win their money back if they do those 4 things. And then it will roll into after the webinar, we're doing a 6-week trial of marketing rehab where they'll get a group coaching call with me every week. So if they, depending on if they paid 17, 37 or 97, it actually won't matter. Because if they attend the second one, I'm going to assume everyone paid 97 and give them that $97 discount for a 6-week group coaching call with me, which will be a huge significant discount, especially if they only paid 17. So they'll be rewarded for paying less and buying early.
Big time.
I hope they don't buy early though. I want them to buy later, but whatever, It's up to them.
So that's 17, what did you say, 37 and 97?
Yeah. 17 if they buy before the webinar, 37 if they buy during the webinar, 97 if they buy after the webinar.
Got it. And that'll all be credited back into the next upsell, the next sort of cross-sell, upsell, purchase. Got it.
Into the 6-week trial of, hey, if you liked these 2 webinars, imagine if you got this every week, but instead of me deciding the topic, it's personalized and specific to your business objectives and the marketing or growth challenges you have. Great.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
You have now a full $97 discount. So we're charging $197 for that 6 weeks. Even if you paid 17, you just got a bonus because I'm making it up to 97. So it'll only cost you $100.
It's a great idea. It's a great offer. And like the whole part about this that I really love is that you're paying one number, you do X, Y, and Z, whatever those critical things are. You know, what are those in your business? What must they do in order to set themselves up for success for the next stage? And you're crediting that money back. Same could be done with a free trial. The free trial is contingent upon them executing on step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect for for a software, perfect for a coaching program, perfect for, maybe a little bit less so on e-commerce to a degree. The point is like both you and them, the client is betting on themselves to execute.
Yes.
And that's the big part to this is like they are getting involved in their own success with money on the line, and then you're rewarding them for that. And whether or not it is the free trial, whether or not it's the win your money back, it's a great way of bringing in clients that, you otherwise probably wouldn't have sold with just sort of a straight line offer.
Yeah. And like, I think of important pieces too, is like winning your money back. Yeah, I'm crediting them the $17, $37 or $97, but I'm actually asking them for more money. So I'm asking them for a second purchase. So it's not that like I'm refunding. I have an unconditional money back. I said, if anyone is 20 minutes in, 5 minutes in, and they find that everything I'm doing is useless, then I will 100% recredit their money. I care more about their time on the webinar than I care about $17 or $37. Like that doesn't mean anything to me. Them being present for an hour or me showing things that work for our clients and our business and giving them the chance to empower their small businesses to reap the same benefits, that's way more valuable to me. So I have the unconditional, if you don't find this useful, here's your full money back. I'm sorry I wasted your time, because your time is way worth more than 17. The other thing I have is, so that's the I'll give you your money back, but I'm rolling that money in when I'm asking you to give me more money. I'm just not charging you the full price because I'm applying what you've already paid. So if I've collected 17, now I'm going to be collecting 100. So it's new money. It's just not the full price money. So exactly what you said. Maybe someone wouldn't have paid 197 without having paid zero before. So this just allows it to get it cheaper. And again, the most important piece is I'm collecting money again.
All right. So the bottom line with this is like, if you're going to do this, you have to figure out what is your XYZ PDQ, your 1 through 7, your 1 through 5 that somebody must do in order to win their money back. And, or if you're doing a free trial, what are they going to do? It's conditional. Never, ever offer a free trial without grabbing a credit card, maybe charging $1. Like he talks about this in later parts of the book, but super important because it does relate back to win your money back. And the client that I was meeting with, we were trying to figure out, okay, what could be your guarantee? Is there a potential guarantee here in a win your money back kind of scenario or a free trial kind of scenario? And they just wouldn't go for it. Their finances some businesses,
not yet.
You're just not going to, it's just too much too soon. However, like we're talking, that's a $10,000 program. So that's pretty significant. That'll affect the bottom line to a certain degree. But if you are thinking about like, how do I spice up my offer? Like this is a great way of doing it because it puts the results, it mixes results and action together, which is what I love. And
provided that you have another offer for them to continue to receive the results. Correct.
And he talks about this, and I don't know if your offer actually has this, is like, this is a perfect segue into a continuity offer.
Oh, what do you think marketing rehab goes into? It's like you get a 6-week trial at $197, and then I'm selling you into marketing rehab, which is a weekly meeting mastermind. So that's the continuity. And then in that second, I was like, if you see the screen, I have it here, is if you do the 6-week trial, I'll actually let you win your money back again, where you attend all 6 calls. You attend an orientation call, a transformation post, and a check-in call. So there's the 3 orientation, check-in call, transformation feedback call. If you attend those 3 calls and you attend each of the 6 sessions of marketing rehab, I'm actually going to roll your 197 into if you want to buy annually. And then I'm following Hormozi's options. Like I'm not giving you your $197 back right away. I'm taking that 197 off over the next 3 months. So instead of charging $495 a month, I'm charging you $429 a month. So I'm taking that 197 and applying that discount over the next 3 months. Then you'll be into $497. Or if you want to double that, win your money back and you buy the annual, you're actually going to get $400 off of the annual purchase.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
So if you do have a continuity program, that's what he recommends. Is like spread that over 3, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever it happens to be. In your case, it's 3 months. So perfect, because it rolls right into continuity, and continuity is a great model. Hey, please stay tuned for part 2 of this episode by subscribing to this show so you don't miss the golden nuggets to help you with metrics that matter and actually scale your business. I'll see you in the next video.